Good day everyone, and welcome to Cooking Keto Southern Style with Randy. Today we're going to make a traditional Southern fried chicken. So the first thing we're going to do is actually prepare the batter for the fried chicken. We're really going to be cooking it in the oven. So I've already preheated the oven over here to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and got it all heated up. We're going to actually make Kentucky Fried Chicken seasoning. I went online and did some research, and supposedly this is the real Kentucky Fried Chicken seasoning, the 11 herbs and spices. So I'm going to tell you what goes in them. Let me pull this up. So the first thing we're going to make is the 11 herbs and spices for the original Kentucky Fried Chicken seasoning. So what you will need is 2/3 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of thyme, a half a teaspoon of basil, a third of a teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon celery salt, 1 teaspoon black powder, 1 teaspoon black pepper. Don't put black powder in there. It'd be some freaking exploding chicken. So 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of dried mustard, 4 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 3 teaspoons of white pepper. So I'm going to mix that all up into a dish and show you what it looks like. Okay, I have now mixed up the lovely seasonings into the bowl. So that's all 11 herbs and spices in there. Does not smell like the Colonel to me. We will see how it tastes. I actually found this on an article of a man who used to work for Colonel Harlan Sanders as a boy, and he used to actually mix this up. So this is supposedly what it's supposed to be. We'll see. You can always substitute your favorite fried chicken seasoning and do this. This is the actual original recipe was for 2 cups of all-purpose flour to do chicken with. So what I actually am going to do is 4 chicken thighs, 5 chicken legs, and some chicken tenders. My wife prefers white meat. The rest of us like either thighs or legs, so I'm going to do that since there's more fat in the dark meat than there is in the white. So mix that up. So next, to make the the breading for your fried chicken that we're going to actually make in the oven, pork skins. You need 4 ounces of pork skins, so we're going to measure out 4 ounces of pork skins, and then you're supposed to crush them up. The recipe says that they should be pretty much small, but you should have some chunks so you get some bigger pieces of like crispy on it. So we're going to get out this 4 ounces of pork skins. I'm going to put it into a Ziploc bag. So that is the 4 ounces here on the plate of pork skins, which was almost the entire bag. It was a 5-ounce bag of pork skins. So I'm going to put those into a zip top bag now, and we're going to crush this up into little pieces. What? Sorry. Oh, okay. I have a live audience today. So, so we're going to get all those into the zip top bag. So I'm going to zip it up, get the air out, and then I'm just going to take out some aggression and crush these suckers up. So I'm just pretty much just pushing down. You probably could take a coffee cup and just roll on it if you wanted to. I would also suggest, after this is just a regular, might want to put this in the food processor. Use a freezer bag instead of just a regular one. I may have to get the food processor out. Let me get a cup and see if I can get it to crush up with that. Okay, so I'm back with a coffee cup and we're just going to roll on it and see if that does any better. And hopefully I will not break the bag here. I think this is going to work. Food processor. I'm going to say food processor and leave like an ounce out and crush up by hand so you have the bigger pieces. If you're really mad at somebody, this is a good stress relief. Busting up pork skins. Okay, so we're going to go with that. So I'm going to pull up the recipe now and read it. I actually found this online, so but I'm adapting it to the Colonel's the Colonel's 11 herbs and spices. So we're going to need in this it says 12 chicken legs or thighs. Like I said, I'm doing 5 legs, 4 thighs, which is 9 pieces, and then a pack of chicken tenderloin. So this right here probably equals another 2 or 3 pieces, so that would get us to 12 for the coating. So you could technically make chicken tenders this way too. So we're going to need 1 egg, 2 ounces of mayonnaise, and 3 tablespoons or 15 grams of Dijon mustard to actually make the coating for the chicken to get this to stick to. So it says instruction 1 is to preheat your oven, like I said, to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to bust up crush the pork rinds into a powder-like mixture, leaving a few big pieces. Then we're going to combine the pork rinds and the spices into on a thin layer on a paper plate, so we can just throw it away. And then in a wide bowl, combine the egg, the mayonnaise, and the Dijon, beating it up together. And we're gonna what the heck does this say? Dip each piece of chicken into the mixture, then roll into the pork skins. Coat evenly. Place on a wire rack. So what I have done, so you might want to do this, is I'm taking a cookie sheet. You can see cookie sheet. I lined it with heavy duty aluminum foil, and then we have a rack that we got at the Bed Bath & Beyond, so we could bake large amounts of bacon at one time. But it's also a cooling sheet. It's just, you can see that the mesh is a lot closer than a traditional cookie baking sheet, and I have some of those. But we're going to put the chicken on this, and the instructions that I read said keeping the chicken up, out, off of direct contact. Okay, now I can't get this back on here. Was the key to getting the heat around the entire chicken so it cooks and crisps up the shiitake mushrooms. It's gonna make me cuss. There. I think my other cookie sheet is in the refrigerator with watermelon written on it that this actually fits on really well. So we're just going to go with that. So we've got that. So I'm going to come back and we're going to attempt to batter this chicken. So I poured the pork skins out, the crushed pork skins out onto a large paper plate. So now I'm incorporating the pork skins and the seasoning together. I want to get this mixed thoroughly. I probably should have just put it into a Ziploc bag and did it. It would probably been easier. Trick, note to self, mix it in a Ziploc bag. But since there is a little grease in the pork skins, the herbs and spices are really sticking to the crushed pork skins really well. So we're going to see how this works. Okay, so I got that. So I've cracked an egg into the bowl, and I'm going to kind of whisk it up before I add the mayonnaise and the Dijon mustard. We're going to actually, it says 2 ounces of mayonnaise and 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon on the back equals 5 grams, so that's 15 grams. So I'm going to actually switch the scale over here in a minute and measure 15 grams. So we're going to put that up onto the scale. I'm going to zero it out, change it over to grams. There we go. And I did. So 15 grams of Dijon mustard. Boy, that was right on it. So we're going to add 2 ounces of mayonnaise. My favorite mayonnaise, even though it has why aren't you sitting flat? Zero it out. Ounces. So here we go. Half an ounce. 1 ounce. Don't want to get more than I need. Two ounces. Ooh, right on the dot. So you could actually make up your own homemade mayonnaise with a healthy oil, with avocado or coconut or olive oil, instead of using the prepackaged mayonnaise. The benefits of that is it has soybean oil and canola oil in it, which actually contribute to inflammation. So if you have arthritis and inflamed joints, if you will reduce those oils, you will see a great difference. I've really tried to remove all of it out of my diet for the past 3 months, and it's amazed how much better I do feel. So we're going to mix this together. I'm going to move my scale out of the way. Actually, I'm going to move it out of the way, and we're going to bring over the thing in a minute. So hopefully, I'm hoping that this right here, this coating, we'll see, is going to be enough. It says for 12 pieces of chicken. I guess I'm used to the old traditional way of buttermilk and all that. So, okay, that's mixed up really well together. So here we go. We have the wet, the dry, and the vessel to do the cooking. I'm going to start out with the chicken thighs because they are the larger. And there are 4 chicken thighs in here. I'm just going to take them right out of the pack, put them down in here. To me, this just does not seem like enough, but we're going to coat that sucker up in this breading and place it onto the thing and onto the next one. Now we're going to coat up the 5 chicken legs I have. And what I'm going to do is hold off on the chicken tenders because they will cook so much faster than this will, than the thighs and legs will, because it says it's to cook for 40 minutes, and the tenders will be done in about 20. So halfway through, I'm going to actually put the tenders in there. So we're going to do this. And that way I can also check on the chicken, see if it needs to be turned or anything. Wow. I'm going to try my best to get these done. I think we'll have plenty of bread. Alright, but they're really tasty. I've never made this before in my life, so we're going to find out. These awesome. I'll order some chicken. A couple of bigger than. Okay. We're now mopping a bowl with a chicken leg. And it says not to let them touch, so I'm trying to keep them touching. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands off and we'll do that. And it says not to let them touch, so I'm trying to keep them from touching. Okay. And get this in the oven for 20 minutes to start, and then we'll add the chicken tenders to it afterwards. And this rack has slid down yet again. There we go. Okay. So the chicken has gone in the oven. Kitchen timer, 20 minutes. So the chicken legs and chicken thighs are in the oven for 20 minutes now. Then I'm going to add the actual tenderloins to it and finish cooking the chicken. So I have the chicken over here coated. I'm gonna put it in the oven and let it cook for 20 minutes while the other finishes off. So here is the fried chicken. I'm gonna actually just put it over here in this full pan. So here are the chicken tenders. We're gonna plate those up. The breading on the bottom is sticking just a little bit to the rack, which voila, clean pan. That's still hot. Ooh. So here we go. Here's the chicken tenders. I'm gonna put those up in the microwave so they stay warm, and we'll get an evaluation from my wife how good they actually are. They look very good, moist and delicious. Okay, Sherry, my lovely wife, is now off camera going to try a chicken tender and let us know how it is. Is it hot?
It is hot. Temperature-wise.
Temperature-wise.
And at first picking up the chicken tender, the crust is moist, but
Is it done?
it is done.
Okay. So 20 minutes, or actually 25 minutes on the chicken tenders. She's taking a bite. She's not spitting it out right now, so.
It was very good.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I probably give it about 8.
About an 8, okay. So how's the flavor with the
Oh, the flavor is really good.
11 herbs and spices?
Yeah.
Is it close? Not really?
Fried chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, you close your eyes.
Yeah, the actual chicken pieces I cooked longer, and the crust on the top is really crispy. On the bottom where the fat drips off the chicken, it's like that. So that's not bad? Okay. So there you have it. Scale of 1 to 8 is 8. It's really close to the KFC flavor, so you may want to try that. Once again, subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you liked or disliked the recipe. Post your comments. I greatly appreciate it, and y'all have a great day.